Tropical Storm Rose is currently moving over the eastern Atlantic. We have the latest in on it, so this is public advisory at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. CVT. So here we go. It is its latitude is 14.3 degrees north, longitude 29.9 degrees west. It is moving north-northwest near 16 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds are at 40 miles per hour. It became a tropical storm at this latest advisory. So tropical storm force winds are at 35 miles from the center. Pressure is 1,005 millibars. This is expected to strengthen into a 50 mile per hour tropical storm at its peak, and is expected to strengthen tomorrow as well. So this is the cone right here. Expect to continue that northwest to northwest trajectory, and then become a tropical depression by Thursday, if these models, if the NHC's cone is if the NHC's cone is correct. We have the latest tracks of it, and we have the latest intensity. Basically, after 48 hours, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Some of the models have it moving more towards the west-northwest. Others have it moving more to the north. Others have it moving just in crazy directions, first then to the east, then back to the west, and everything in like a squiggly line. So after 48 hours, there's not much I can really say about this system either. Similar to Tropical Storm Peter, basically, it's not looking pretty good. It's not looking that good when it comes to the track models, although the intensity models are a little bit better than they are with Peter. It's 40 mile per hour tropical storm now. Majority of the models have it strengthening, and with the DSHP having it at the strongest around 60 miles per hour. So, yeah, this is something I'll be keeping a very close eye on. Rose formed very quickly. It was Invest 97L, then it became Tropical Depression 17, and now it's Tropical Storm Rose. So things happen pretty quickly in the Eastern Atlantic sometimes. So yeah, this is the latest satellite imagery right here once again. So basically, this thing is expected to strengthen to a 50 mile per hour tropical storm. I think that's actually accurate, considering that it's moving into after tomorrow. It's going to start moving into cooler waters, as well as some wind shear and everything that's going to hamper its development a little bit. So yeah, I think 50 miles per hour is more appropriate for this thing. As for Peter, we already talked about that in my last video on it, so if you haven't already, go check that out. I recommend you do. So yeah, there are a few key takeaways I want to do real quickly. One, this is the cone right now, and we're going to compare that to compare that to this. After 48 hours, these models are the NHC cone as well as these models are pretty unreliable. So take all of this with a grain of salt. That's the first key takeaway. Take all of this with a grain of salt. It may, especially all of this. Take it, like, I wouldn't even take it with a grain of salt at this point. Like, the models are so stretched out like they are with Peter that I have no idea what it's going to do. So that's the first takeaway. Second takeaway, the models have it somewhere between a 50 and 60 mile per hour tropical storm. So there's that. The models are in much more agreement than they are with Peter. So there's that for you. The final takeaway I just want to give you is that there are some minus 80 cloud tops in parts of this storm and everything, which means convection is still considerably quite good, and it means it could develop into something stronger. Sometimes these systems just need to organize and everything. They need a little bit more time to organize. This may be the case, because I don't really see that well of a defined center of circulation from the satellite imagery, and if I pull up other satellite imagery, it's not going to help me either. So yeah, it's going to probably organize some more. It's going to probably strengthen into a 50 to 60 mile per hour tropical storm. That's my best guess at this point, but with the tracks after 48 hours, I don't know what's going to happen. Take everything you see here with a grain of salt. That's the main point I want to emphasize very quickly. The good thing is this is expected to stay over sea, so that's pretty much good news. This is going to be nowhere near land for the next 5 day, at least 5 days, and then if it somehow miraculously just turns to the west and everything, yeah. So anyway, I'll be keeping a very close eye on that. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more updates.